chunky, but not chunky. So you wash the chunks out with the cleaner.
And then when you're all done, you wash it out with the hose. Okay, we ready? You gonna get this on video?
So this is the black tank.
Here's our poop, everybody.
I hope you have down the road right now because we're gonna go by Camping World, and that is where we dump our tanks, our black tank and our gray tank. And so,
you have to explain that to me so that you'll understand.
Yeah, I was just about to do that. So Trent's gonna show you guys when we get there what that looks like.
Well, I don't know if I want to show what it looks like. That's gross.
Oh, not what it looks like, but like.
Oh yeah. Hang on, let me grab this.
Okay. So Trent's gonna show you guys what it is like, what that entails to dump the black and gray tanks. Basically, an RV has two tanks. The black tank is the poop tank, and it's called the black tank because it's black when it comes out. And the gray tank is more gray water, so it's stuff from your sinks and your shower. And you know, you would think that the black tank would be the smelliest thing in the world, but I'm telling you, the gray tank is way worse. It is so disgusting. And so, yeah, we were kind of very apprehensive the first time we had to dump because we've read so many horror stories. And if you've ever watched the movie RV with Robin Williams in it, there's a whole scene about when he has to dump the tanks for the first time, and it's horrifying. So if you haven't watched that movie, we talk about it all the time because it's the funniest movie. If you know anything about RVs, and if you don't, then it's the funniest movie for you because you can laugh at people like us who are in RVs, because there's things that other people just don't have to do. People don't have to dump their poop every 4 or 5 days like people who are full-time in RV. And by the way, this is what happens when your gray tank is too full to do the dishes. So our levels, we keep our levels down here on this thing called the sea level, and well, that's lying. It's not 75%, it's actually almost 100%, but I think because we're driving and we're on a hill, see now it says 79, it's just from shaking, it doesn't know, but when we were standing still at our spot at Fairhaven, it was up to like 97 or something like that. So we just don't do the dishes. We wait until after we have dumped the tanks, and then we'll do the dishes. So there it is, the awesome mess of dishes in the sink. But that's okay, because we have 5 kids and this is just normal life. But yep, so keeping it real, people. Dishes in the sink, no makeup today. It is what it is. This is the Walker family. Alright, hang on, I need shoes on for this. I'm not getting anywhere near there with no shoes on.
You have it on right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, it's kind of gross, but the first time I did this, like, all the boys wanted to come see.
Now they don't care.
Yeah, now they're done. They're like, yeah, I'm over it.
I like to do it.
Eh, poop. I've seen it already. Oh my gosh, it's bright. And getting hot already.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hot day today.
And explain what is what.
Yeah.
So, that, you can see it out of my shadow, is the septic that we dump into. So both tanks go into the same hole. Both
Most
get dumped.
important thing to this is your rubber gloves.
Rubber gloves.
Because this is really gross, and
Thank
you don't
you,
want to.
Mr. Clean.
You don't want to be like touching other people's stuff.
Yeah,
We're gonna
'cause
link the video today.
lots of people come out and use these things, and
RV
so
movie.
not that we would want to touch our own stuff either.
Yeah, I know.
Not just other people's stuff, but you just don't want to touch stuff in general.
There's just something about it, like, you don't want to touch anybody's stuff, but if it's your own stuff, you're like, okay, that's gross, but if it's somebody else's stuff, like, you know? Yeah. It's all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have this little guy right here, which is awesome because you can see what's coming out. I know it seems kind of gross, but it's really important that you don't get stuff clogged up in there.
Yeah, so you gotta make sure, like
sure
this
it's
helps
all
you
coming
to
out.
see that it's all draining out, that nothing's stuck, and
Yeah, how we do this every
stuff is flowing freely.
We do this like every 4 to 5 days or
4
so.
to 5 days, yeah. And that is the black tank handle that opens the tank, and that's the gray. So Trent's gonna...
All right, we ready? There's a little bit of spillage that comes out just by virtue of some of the stuff that was left over last time. So again, pretty gross. I mean, this is like, you know, what we're rating this movie today, a little extra gross. So
Extra gross. There it is.
again, it's not much.
It looks more like gray. It's gray tank because we do gray last.
Oh, you always do gray second.
Gray second because you let the ew go into the hose first, and then you flush it out with the not so ew that really stinks.
Which is like
But
gray
it's
is
not
almost,
as chunky.
Yeah, gray is almost more stinky than the black tank.
It's more stinky but not chunky. So you wash the chunks out with the
Yeah. Yeah.
cleaner.
And then when you're all done, you wash it out with the hose. Okay, we ready? You gonna get this on video?
So this is the black tank.
Here's our poop, everybody.
I hope you have it connected really
Watch your
well.
knife.
If that like goes flying or something. Okay. So there it goes. I guess it's not really black, but it's
Well, no,
blacker.
It's not black,
It's
but-
blacker than the gray.
Yeah.
That's a mixture of all kinds. And notice the little like toilet
Ew.
paper flecks in there.
Nobody wants to notice any of that. Ew.
But it's important. This is important for RVers to know.
RVers need to
It's
know this.
important to
Everybody
know
asks
what
the
kind of
question.
toilet paper to use.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
if you see wads of toilet paper in there, you're gonna be in trouble because that stuff is gonna cake up in your tank and it's not good. It's no bueno. So you have to use a toilet paper that breaks down. It's a single ply. Scott Tissue makes single ply toilet paper.
Look at yourself when you do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just look at you.
Okay, well, you're talking about the toilet paper.
So Scott Tissue makes a single ply. You can get stuff from RV stores that's really expensive, but and Scott Tissue, like I used to hate it. It was so like scratchy, but they've come out with a new one that's like Scott Extra Soft, and it still is a one ply, but it's kind of textured now.
You could show it to them.
Yeah, I'll show you guys later.
right,
It's textured, which makes it softer.
I'm gonna shut the black tank first before I open up the gray tank, so that the valve is closed and we don't get stuff washing back up into the black tank. Okay, nice and closed.
Now comes
This
the
one's
gray.
actually smellier, so like pew stinky. And here's the gray. Ew,
Oh, it's like there's a leak.
thank
And oh
you,
my
like,
gosh, it sounds stinky.
Camping World hose. That's not our.
Why did you use Camping World's hose?
Because it's one that I don't have.
Oh my goodness, it's totally like squirting out this little hole. Oh, it's squirting over there too. Oh my gosh. It
What'd you say?
smells,
Rotten eggs in it.
it smells like rotten eggs and like a hair perm.
Ew. Like burnt hair.
Like, I don't know.
So gross.
Ew.
But our tanks were at like 96%, which is very full. So
Yeah, so it's still going. Yeah, that tank was really full. But you have to have it full when you dump. That's the other thing is you want it as full as you can get it because that creates the pressure that's needed to suck it out of the tanks. Otherwise, you don't get good pressure behind it and you don't get it all out.
right.
So that's very important.
Yeah. So we're all done with the gray tank. We're gonna shut that first. Okay. Make sure it's good and shut. I will loosen this one first.
I'm gonna stand
and
back.
loosen this one, and you'll still have some dripping. But if you can see, if Siobhan will pan out, I actually take our RV because we have air suspension, and I level it. Like I specifically give some gravity with it.
Oh yeah. So you can see how low, like literally the RV is sitting on our back tire on this side, and you can see from the back too. Look at it's specifically tilted to the left so that the tanks will drain better. I forgot he does that. So You're a smart cookie. So now he's just rinsing things out because you want to put stuff back clean. Because if you don't, that's disgusting.
Well,
please
and
don't do that.
I'm not taking the hose. Usually I would clean the hose out a little bit better, but...
Well, it's not our hose, and it wasn't clean, and it has leaks in it anyway, so we keep our hoses back in this little compartment down there, which is really nice, too.
Well, this is all part of the process.
Yay! But now we're happy. We have clear tanks, which means we can go for another 4 or 5 days. And
level back out.
Then we drive out here and do the whole process all over again. So this is kind of a continuation of our black and gray tank dumping, our routine, what we do. So we just got back to Fairhaven and we're all plugged in. Trent's gone back to work. And I'm going to fill the toilet. This is really important. A lot of people don't do this just because they don't know, but if you don't have a ton of extra water in your black tank, then you're gonna get what they call a poop pyramid, which is basically where the poop is just falling down there and piling up, rather than falling down and dissolving into water, which keeps the stink down and it keeps it from drying out. So, guys, this is so gross. I'm sorry that I'm telling you this, but I'm hoping that it'll be helpful for people who may stumble upon our YouTube channel because of the whole RVing thing. So, I'm going to put it down in the description for this video. If you have a sensitive stomach, you're just going to fast forward through all this. So, but for those of you who are curious about what we do for what we do. Oh, that's funny. If you're curious about what we have to do to maintain the tanks, like, we don't want our home smelling like that. Like toilet and nasty. It's not pleasant. So, to keep things from smelling and to keep things clean and moving, we'll fill the toilet bowl. So this is how we do this. There's like a little pedal down here that flushes your toilet. But if you lift up on it, it fills the toilet. So I have this little sprayer that we use to clean out the toilet. It's very helpful, but I'll use it also to fill the bowl faster, because if you have the kettle going and this going at once, it goes a lot faster. So I'll fill it up quite a bit, and then every time, and I've heard you don't have to do this every time, but I don't know, like, I guess I'm just, it's really important to me that my toilet doesn't stink and that people don't smell black tank or gray tank or anything like that when they come in our home. So I am pouring a cap full of this Calgon water softener. Sometimes I use a powder kind if it's all that a store has. It works just fine. You just have to dissolve it in the toilet first, which I do with a toilet brush. So it's not that big a deal. Either one, powdered or liquid water softener. Put that in there. And then we'll also get some laundry detergent. Some people use Dawn, original Dawn dish soap for this. We use the laundry soap. We'll do a cap full of that. And then I take the little toilet brush and give it a good swish around. And this is the time I take to clean out the toilet bowl at the same time. So it kind of works out every 4 days or so. I clean the toilet bowl. It's just important in a house full of boys. And I just use the laundry soap that's in here. I don't use any extra chemicals. I don't have to do that because I've already got soap and softener and all that stuff in here. We try to pay extra attention to cleaning out this little ball thing that opens up here too, because if stuff gets all caught on that, it will start to leak. It has a rubber seal around the edge of it that is what keeps the water in, and so we try to really give that a good scrubbing too when we're emptying the tanks and then refilling the toilet. So now that I've done that whole thing, I will fill the bowl like 4 more times. That's what we're doing. That's what we do. Clean the toilets, fill the toilets, and really, like, anybody who's been in our home, they will tell you that it doesn't smell. You know how, like, sometimes you can go into an RV and it smells like that porta potty smell, like it's like this blue junk that they put in there. It's like a tank treatment. We don't use any of that stuff because I think that stuff smells just as bad as the tank itself. It just makes it smell like a porta potty, and that's not pleasant. And you don't need that stuff. All you RVers out there, you don't need tank treatment. You don't need smelly, perfumey, weird stuff. You just need to have enough water in your tank, and you need to use like the laundry detergent and the water softener to keep things loose so that when you empty your tanks, everything just slides out. You know, think about like doing the dishes. You use dish soap and it helps everything to just slide off of the plate. So it's the same idea here. Keep your tanks lubricated, keep them clean, keep them filled before you empty them, and then empty them all the way, and you won't have smelly tanks. You just won't.